Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe or follow no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Fellas, looks like we're going on a bit of a road trip from Philly to Tallahassee. That's right, all the way to Tehachapi. This is Drive Away Dolls.
Tehachapi. Fucking critters. Speaking of critters, we had 84 minutes of sandy cheeks talking gross. Boy, oh boy, what a good time.
So this was my pick, and I saw it a week or two ago, and I was like, you know what? That was a lot of fun. I want to make these guys watch this. This is a Coen brother movie. This is just, what, Joel or Ethan? It doesn't matter. It's from the fun one, because this is way more fun than, I don't know, some of the more drier Coen brothers flicks.
I don't know, like, this movie for me, I think just for like a little taste, it was just, I think, okay. I feel like there was missing something. I think I might have walked in this movie with a little too high hopes because I enjoy their collaborative efforts by far. So, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping with this discussion you guys can hopefully enlighten me on why I am just absolutely frazzled.
Listen, the only expectation that I should have laid down for you is that this is better than B-movie.
You like jazz?
Ooh, I don't know.
110%. This movie has, Chandler, to your credit, so much Coen influence all throughout it, and he isn't trying to hide it. You get like the No Country for Old Men talking bit, basically referenced with Curly and the other fellow whenever he's behind the bar. You can kind of get that vibe going on. You can see a lot of influence from these other movies in here. The issue with that is, for me anyways, all those influences don't a movie make. You know what I mean? Like, you can go, oh, that's a really cool scene. On to the next. Moss and Birds. Tehachapi.
This really, honestly, I agree with you. It could have been fleshed out a little bit more. 84 minutes, is that what you said? Something along those lines. It's not a long movie. So, yeah, we could have had a little bit more potatoes in between our meat. But there's a lot of roast beef in here, I'll say.
This road trip, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it has any momentum, you know? We'll get into it, like, you know, this is a huge plot point and everything, but, like, they do travel from Philadelphia to Tallahassee, Florida. That's a long time. And we spend so much time kind of, like, stuffed in the car with them. We're just there. We don't even, it doesn't even feel like even though they do stop in places, it doesn't even feel like there's, like, a change of anything.
Yeah, maybe we should have had a few more of those little nice little stops, that Margaret Qualley wanted to stop on, see, like the world's largest Dixie cup or the world's largest meat thermometer or something like that. But yeah, sometimes it just is. You're right.
I will say that whenever they were calling out all the little stops, I was excited and hopeful, especially for it to be a road trip movie, that they would have these different, basically like a vignette, a reason to have the vignette. But instead, I guess the straight man character is like, no, we're going to go right to Tehachapi. And they do. And so for this road trip movie, you get straight stretches and no cool stops except for local gay bars and dive restaurants.
Let's set the stage a little bit. This is about Margaret Qualley, and I don't actually remember the other actress's name. Margaret Qualley just got out of a relationship by getting broken up with because she was cheating. So she's getting kicked out of her girlfriend's apartment. So her best friend's going on a road trip to Tallahassee. Might as well go with her, right?
Yeah.
I really like the lady who turned out to be a cop, like the crazy lady was banging, and she was mad because she just ups and leaves after they shag. And I don't know. Usually when I see these like more modern hot-tempered characters or whatever, they always have some like dumb shit to say. I really liked how she just tore her down in every fucking scene. It just delighted me.
Yes, this character, the brawny lesbian girlfriend, was fucking great. Whenever the two bad guys come in to try to find out where their missing stuff is, and they harass her, she's like and beats the fuck out of old dude. And it was hilarious. And never once did you feel like it wasn't supposed to be happening. And I lost my shit. Like, genuinely got a good, hearty laugh out of me. So one of them is attacking her, getting his ass whooped. The other guy is sitting down on the couch, calmly asking questions that she is answering during the beating of this other man. And he goes, "Can you please stop that? Because it's not fair. He's not going to hit you. He's old school. He won't hit a woman." And she's like, "That's his fucking fault." And just keeps whooping his ass.
Yeah, that character's played by Beanie Feldstein, who I've seen in other things, and she's always great. And I think I remember her being someone's sister, but I don't remember who. Don't quote me on that, though.
Ask me about my wiener!
I know this movie does the whole like good cop, bad cop thing with the main characters. One's extremely conservative, one's extremely not so much. I feel like if she was like in the car with like the more crazy one, I feel like that would have been like a wild fucking movie.
Oh yeah, that would have been like a Harold and Kumar or something.
Yes. Which, for a road trip movie, would have worked way better.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, let's discuss the point of the road trip. So, like, of course, the conservative one, she wants to go to Tallahassee so she can rendezvous with some family. The crazy one, not so conservative one's not doing anything and just is tagging along. My initial thought was like, okay, this is like where they kind of bond, you know, they kind of like cross-contaminate, you know, the conservative one learns to loosen up and the crazy one learns to just like, you know, just take it easy sometimes.
Just for posterity's sake, Margaret Qualley's character is named Jamie, and Geraldine, she is named Marian in this movie.
Okay, I remembered Marion. I couldn't remember the other one. I kept thinking like it's something like something McDonough.
No, it's just Margaret Qualley. That's what I have her in my notes as the entire time. Just Margaret Qualley and Marian.
They're taking this trip. They have to go get a drive away, which I didn't know was a thing. So
Is this a thing? Honestly, is this a
I
thing?
didn't know. No clue.
In 1999, even, was this a thing? I don't think so. I guess the idea is if somebody needs a car taken to a specific place that you are wanting to go to, you can just take it there for free or so. I don't know. It's happening.
It's basically like the VHS at like Blockbuster. Somebody's got to rewind it. So when you rent the car from Enterprise and you drive it to Tehachapi, someone's got to drive it back, you know?
It just sounds like something like if it did exist, it didn't exist for very long because everybody just abused the fuck out of it or something like that. Like some car was supposed to go to Tehachapi, just winds up in the fucking ocean or some shit.
I'm sorry, what is Tehachapi? Is that a joke for something? Y'all keep saying it.
That's a long reference then.
So in Critters 2, the man is dressed up like the Easter Bunny. The critters jump into his suit, eat his dick, to which the cop refers to they took off his Tehachapi.
Sure, all right. Yeah, I don't remember that little bit at all. Okay, we can proceed.
Yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe or follow. Our lore is very deep.
Evidently. Anyway.
So these cars, they have to get back, and someone's got to take them. So why not these two young ladies on a road trip? Lo and behold, much like most road trip movies, there needs to be a reason for conflict. What's the conflict in this one? Well, turns out someone has killed Pedro Pascal at a local Uncork and Create, taken his head, put it on ice, stuffed it in a hat box, next to a case full of, lo and behold, shocker, surprise, politicians? Were they politicians, or was it just like celebrities?
Let's just say celebrity dildos. The most prominent one was of an up-and-coming senator, potential presidential candidate, played by Matt Damon, by the way.
Matt Damon!
Yeah, Matt Damon's just in there.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But, you know, I kind of wish the movie added like a little tinge of authenticity. Just be like, oh yeah, that's Senator whatever, that's Supreme Court Justice whatever, and that's Screech.
And it's just fucking massive.
Yeah, 100%. I just put something together. Okay, you guys know the movie Euro Trip, and the way they get to Europe is through just volunteering to be couriers to take a package on a plane, which is also a system that I don't believe actually exists. Somebody made that up, just like they made that drive away shit in this movie up. Matt Damon was also in Euro Trip for no reason other than just to be there.
Matt Damon!
God damn it. I think he's just trying to like up his Dogma cameo. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate you. Those that do Movie Grid, we appreciate you, Matt Damon. Thank you.
But these cocks of prominence, they have to reach Tallahassee. And so these two young, brave lesbians are up to the task.
For what it's worth, we don't know that they're dildos yet. It's just a briefcase.
Yeah, and there are like brief little interludes in the movie which are just like the psychedelic, groovy, visual salad. And the first time you see it, you do like a little deep dive through the trunk of their car where the briefcase is hidden, and you're thinking like, oh, maybe there's drugs inside or something, or maybe it's like some kind of fucking Pulp Fiction thing, and there's somebody stolen there.
This is a tasty burger.
By the way, those were a bunch of Miley Cyrus scenes. Another why was she in here kind of thing.
Bro, for real. I got so confused every time it did the whole... Okay, this movie's an hour 24 and it's a Coen film. Coen films normally have these amazing tiebacks, these search for this and find it later kind of bits. And then just the random flashbacks of her being a voyeur and drilling a hole in her wooden wall to stare at the naked lady next door.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those.
There's a lot of just not stuff happening.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. Yeah.
I think with the flashbacks, I think that's like a missed opportunity, right? Because given that the conservative one is the lead of the movie, pretty much, like this stuff should have like not been sprinkled through the whole movie. Like we already know she's gay. Like why did we have to learn about her sexual awakening? It didn't quite add anything to the movie because it didn't influence her decisions any per se. Like she already is, and that's fine.
Yeah, come to think about it, like those, like there's what 2 or 3 of those little scenes, and they don't really show us like why she came to be the way that she is from any of those scenes. I guess you're right on that. Yeah.
But my God, with the padding this movie has, it's ridiculous. Between the drawn out sex scenes, which there are like 4 or 5, the weird makeout scenes, which there's like 2 or 3, the crazy psychedelic scenes, which there's a lot.
I liked one sex scene. I thought it was pretty funny. It was the one at the very beginning, because even though we're just kind of like dropped in there like a Halo jump, you know, it's just wild, and it's just like it's goofy. It's just like they're just fucking having wild fucking pig sex and whatever, and they get the phone call in the middle of it.
Yeah, we're really cutting this movie down a little bit, but a lot of what I thought was fun about this movie is the dialogue. As you guys know, I'm a big dialogue guy, so like that scene is funny. It's a sex, like a lesbian sex scene with, you know, you got some big old titties bouncing up in the air and all this stuff. The phone rings and she's like, "I told you not to call me during sex," and it's her girlfriend's like, "No, oh, nothing. I was just masturbating. No, nobody's here. Let me just turn down the video."
This movie's not like other movies.
This movie is the Zooey Deschanel of movies.
All right. So when it came to like the sex scenes, the first one I will give credit in the sense of, yes, it's here to set a tone, raunchy, etc., etc. What I could have done without is the one later on where you're supposed to have this semi-passionate moment between crazy protagonist and chilled out protagonist.
Chilled out.
I guess conservative. And
we definitely see those two characters completely differently. I'll just say that.
yeah, conservative and wacky one. And they're like, yay, look, we're going to have our romantic moment. And then 10 seconds later, literally woken up by the girl next to her masturbating as hard as she can with a dildo, and we get to see that, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Get mine.
Yeah, I think I'm in middle ground because I thought it was hilarious, but I was like, what the fuck is it doing right here in the movie?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, while the ladies are doing whatever all the way to Tehachapi, they're being followed by these two, I guess, colorful, they're just henchmen. Just run-of-the-mill henchmen.
I have them down as the serious guys.
Oh, very serious. You got like J.K. Simmons and some other old dude.
That's like J.K. Mart Simmons.
Oh, maybe. Like the entire time, especially when he was pissed and he was just barking at the other dude, I just pictured that scene from Whiplash. It's like, get the fuck out of my peripherals or I'll destroy you, you know?
Oh.
Better hurry up and give me sexy pictures of lesbian Spider-Man, fucker.
This one's already got web on it.
Oh, yeah. So these two henchmen, they roll in the Curlies. They're looking for the ladies, and unbeknownst to these fellas, Curly's he's a special fella. We love him to death, don't we?
Yeah,
I like him. His approach to everything is so flat and sarcastic and to the point. It's almost like Daria.
It's very matter of fact. Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, it reminded me of that bit from No Country for Old Men at the counter with that other fella, but like instead of this guy understanding like his moments are numbered, it's just a dipshit.
Gives me a little bit of Ethel Beavers from Parks and Recreation, just like, yeah, whatever. But the scene that I really like with him is actually when the two ladies roll in. He's just like, Curly here, what can I do for you? Well, all right now, Curly. Don't call me Curly. She just looks down to the name tag that says Curly. Well, ain't your name Curly? It is, but we've just met. It's too familiar.
And don't call me Shirley.
Okay, to be fair, we've all worked at the same place. And when people I don't know walk up to me and just call me by name, I'm like, excuse? You know?
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
That's
right,
the
right,
worst.
right.
That's the worst.
Sir, you cannot Rumpelstiltskin me. I do not appreciate it.
I don't care what's on the name tag. I'm just a dude that works here. We don't need to bring this into a personal relationship yet.
Well, they make it personal, and they took it personally, because, like, in the middle of his dumbass spewing, they just beat him up, and he's still saying dumb things, and I'm just like, God damn.
Is no one gonna help Curly?
Oh.
I had the thought, I was like, oh my gosh, that was God's creation. That's what we did to him.
I'm tired, boss.
No.
But yeah, like he's got some actual good quips. He's got some good banter back and forth, especially with like the main bad guy. The secondary bad guy is circling around. He clubs him in the head with a blackjack. We get uber violence for just a moment. And even while he's laying there dying, he's like, Curly don't like it when Curly gets beat to death. So
Famous last words I hear.
yeah. It's just one of those scenes to where, again, for a Coen movie, it makes sense. But in the overarching design of this movie, you get really confused on why it needed to go that far that fast.
Yeah, I guess so.
At this point in the movie, I was thinking, or juggling the thoughts in my head, like, what is this movie trying to be? I was thinking, like, oh, it's like an updated Thelma and Louise kind of thing. And I was thinking, like, oh, this is just a straight-up black comedy. There's just going to be some fucking visceral shit just for the goofs.
Nope, it's going to be a 90s sex comedy, too, but they're lesbians this time.
I kind of wish they just, like, held a Crystal Pepsi in their hand and just looked at the camera. It's the 90s.
Yeah. Like, there aren't really... They do tell you this takes place in 1999, but it doesn't feel like that it's really 1999. Like, it feels like this could have happened really in any time.
It's one of the reasons why I felt in a blink of an eye. I got from Pennsylvania to Florida, because when they're outside of the car, they're just in this almost indescript location. We don't see like an opening shot of the city they're in. We don't roll into town, see some signs. We're just there. And then when we're not there, we're back in the car. Before we know it, they're at a hotel in Tehachapi. I don't know.
Yeah, the only time we really see them stop is when they have to like spend the night in a hotel or a motel. They spend a little time with this college soccer team in North Georgia, which they have a little makeout party, as you do when you are a lesbian hanging out with lesbians, I guess.
Well, at this point, my mind had changed because like I thought maybe in the Wacky One's effort to kind of like soften up the conservative one, maybe she just turned this into like a sex tour. Like, oh, we're just going to fucking Virginia to fucking unvirgin people.
Yeah, like, Margaret Qualley's character finds someone to smooch up with or more at every stop. That's just who she is. And for the most part, Marianne is just not into it. She would rather just leave the party and maybe go back to the hotel or motel or whatever it is.
I know this is just from my viewing perspective. I understand this is a raunchy, fun comedy, etc., etc. The conservative figure in this movie has watched this girl run through about 8 girls in the span of 3 days. She then allows her to run through her and vice versa. For me, especially in 1999, and all I could think is this conservative character isn't thinking that this girl who has brought home 3 random chicks and it's just like, yeah, it's cool, I'm next. I don't know, that really took me out of the movie. I was just confused because I thought there was going to be some sort of growth between the two. Nope.
I mean, maybe you don't need to get your carpet steamed for fleas if you just go full hardwood, you know what I'm saying? Just buff it out. Get that shit waxed.
I think that's an underlying issue, not the sex scenes or anything in particular. It's just that there's no like flow into like them getting together. Like even if it's not even for feelings, they're just banging it out. All this happened, and they're the same people they were when they started.
Definitely Margaret Qualley's character. She's just the same old hoe going through the series of women as she was to begin with. But we find out Marian, it's been a while for her. Potentially multiple years since she's, gotten her groove back. And that is Margaret Qualley's goal. She is going to get her friend laid. I guess the only way to do it is just to do it yourself, right? If she's not going to be social, not going to get out there, she's just going to sit at home reading her Henry James novel or whatever. And I'm a big fan of road trip movies, honestly. It's just, the more we talk about this, the more I can see its flaws.
For a road trip movie, it lacked singing. It lacked music. There wasn't even a single use of Bohemian Rhapsody. No Wayne's World references.
And speaking of Bohemian, I just got beer all over my laptop. What I've got here today is from Smog City Brewing Company. Haven't had one of them in a while. This is Bohemian Winds. So this here is a hazy IPA, a little bit tropical, a little bit of that banana, pineapple, papaya, whatever you like. 6.4% though. It really doesn't have the kind of gravity that you need to carry all those flavors forward. So it's another hazy IPA, I guess. It's not bad. It's not great. It is.
Well, what do you know? Something that's not good, not bad, just is. This road trip is right up that alley.
I still think there's a lot of dialogue in here that's a lot of fun. That trademark Coen brother dialogue.
That's fair. There are some winners in there, especially with the fucking J.K. Simmons. Sometimes he just pulled out like a fucking dinger. They're driving through like in the middle of fucking nowhere in some bayou, and he just pulls out this thing like, "Have you ever fucked a girl outside with the crickets and shit? Whatever, it's the best thing. It doesn't matter if it's and it sounds like two hams slapping together." Like, I don't know. I honest to God, like
that line caught me so off guard because it's just him and his partner. They're squabbling in a squad car, and I don't even know what their differences are. Just like the same as our two protagonists. One's a little bit more, prudish. One's, just trying to get stuff done, trying to be a man. They just end up in like a slap fight almost, that kind of thing. And then he whips out you ever fucked a woman in a porch swing in the summertime with the crickets around you? What?
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. It's out of nowhere, and it's almost the same conviction and delivery of like Tommy Wiseau just like snapping to, "How's your sex life?" It's just like out of fucking left field.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Something else that came out of left field, which I enjoyed in this, was while those same two, the bounty hunter types, are tracking the girls down, they get some bad directions from those soccer girls who send them on a wild goose chase down to some like bayou gay bar. And they're speaking to this southern gentleman, and he's this, I guess you would call him a very aged, elderly black man. He's sitting there, he's got this deep Creole accent, and he's talking to them, giving them directions and advice about something that they ask him. And I'm telling you right now, it sounds like the guy from Waterboy, homo way to make it, that guy.
Like to see homos naked, I don't know.
Yes, but the only thing I can make out was at the very end where he was like, "I will bite your ass though." And I was like, what?
No, the picture says love will bite your ass, and he's like, "Yep, that is true though, love will bite your ass."
Yeah. The whole scene just feels like a non sequitur. Like you mentioned, they roll in. He's like, "Hey, have you seen this lady in the picture?" And the guy just goes, "Mama." And then there's like a 5-second scene where we just see the guys just fucking bumfuzzled. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They're just like, "All right."
Yeah, the big thing to me is like they are rolling up expecting to go into a lesbian bar. They know they're following lesbians who have hit up, several, let's just keep saying lesbian bars on the way down. And this soccer team is just like, they went to this bar in Mississippi. So they send them way off track. Props to them. Snitches get stitches or something. I don't know.
Something like that. But what happens here is just like they get frustrated. They just start driving somewhere. And then like the big boss, he's like, "Hey, fellas, give me that sit rep." And they're just like, "We're in the middle of darkness and we haven't slept in 3 days. You mind if we take a nap?"
Yep.
No, you dumb son of a bitch. They just used a credit card in Tallahassee. Why are you in Mississippi?
Smash cut to them capturing the girls mid fucking masturbation. Wow. And the guy's like, I'm here for two things. I'm here. And I thought he was going to say to kick ass and chew bubble gum or something along those lines. I thought it was going to be like a really good line. But he's like, oh my, you're naked. That's a naked woman. This is normal. I'm here for this, and we're gonna leave. And then they find out a dick is missing because it was being used in the moment. So they kidnap the girls because they want to find out where this dick is. And fellas, did I miss something? Because while they're being held ransom, they're tied up. The big bad is there. The main big bad is there. The two henchmen are there, and they're bickering in the background. They have been the entire time. We're getting this exposition dump about how these dicks were made, and these dicks were, in fact, casts made of high-marked politicians.
Top men.
But now they're using them for ransom and that type of thing.
As far as I can tell, they don't care about any of the other dildos. They are just trying to recover the senator's dildo. Okay, there is like only one dildo. I mean, and we can never imply ownership in the event of a dildo, but we just care about a dildo that was cast from the senator's penis.
I do enjoy the gag of like all the other ones just being happenstance. They could have just been whomever.
Yeah, but we do know, we've got one CEO of a Fortune 500 company, one owner of an NFL team, one Supreme Court justice, okay? So that's 4 of the 6. There's 2 wild cards in there, but,
A full house, nonetheless.
Yep, one is Dave Coulier.
Oh no, there's a song about that one.
Yeah.
But here's the question. Why does he lose it?
Okay, what had happened was a hippie chick that he dated back in college had cast, I guess she messed around with a lot of guys back then and did casts of their penis. Several of them went on to be famous, I guess. I'm going to guess she was like, a Harvard hippie kind of thing. So she got around to a lot of what would be important people, okay? Or Philadelphia, let's say Princeton.
It's a reference to real life. There is a woman in the late 60s and early 70s who went around and casting all these like rock god cocks. It's a real thing. Google it. You can see Jimi Hendrix's dong. It's a historical piece, I hear.
That belongs in a museum.
The scene where they run into the hotel room and are like, hey, there's a dildo missing. Where can that be? Wasn't she just... You walked in and you even said it, that there was a naked woman masturbating. Did you check everywhere? Anywhere that it could be? Anywhere?
I don't know. Something seems a little fishy about that plot.
Oh. All right, so we've got the 3 bad guys or whatever. 2 of them have been disposed of. The last one, as we say, runs out of bullets. He tries to kill the 2 girls, does not, and just kind of runs out of this dog track in which they are being kept, safely, securely, ransom. So they scurry away and try to extort the senator. Once again, played by Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Isn't that hilarious how that's like her go-to? It's like, hey, we have to extort this fucking government official immediately. And it's such a fucking Acme cartoon thing to ask for. It's like, hey, I got your dick. I want $1 million. Click. Got it in the bag, hun. It's just that quick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Austin Powers had come out by then, so they know that, like, $1 million is a lot, but maybe it shouldn't go up to $1 billion.
Shabba-dabba-doo-illion.
Yeah.
Yen.
This whole end of the movie, someone hit the wrap it up button because, by God, it's in fast forward at this point. They go, I want $1 million for your dick. Senator's like, shit, all right, I'll do it. Literally at the bar in the next scene, the trade goes down, no issue, $1 million, he gets his dick, they separate ways, and then suddenly there he is outside, waiting to bamboozle and murder them and take his money back, I suppose. But good thing, brawny lesbian police GF has showed up and smuggled a gun through the airlines in a dog cage and is able to shoot the senator non-lethally.
Okay, I just realized something. That's the only reason why this movie takes place in 1999. Is because it's pre-9/11. You can get away with shit like that as a cop. 100%.
You were right.
It was like, how do we get a fucking gun down there if she takes a flight? Because she couldn't drive that in such a short time. They're just like, nah, 2000 or something.
Yeah, but not too. That'd be too obvious. Make it 1999. Wink.
You got a party like it, I hear.
Yep. But this is all because she's angry. She wants. She's got this dog that she doesn't want. That Margaret Qualley was like, all right, if I'm lying about this one little thing, I'll take the dog, but I'm not lying. And she thought that she was lying. So she is just like flying to Tallahassee for her to take the dog. Couldn't even wait for her to get back home. So, also, this dog just doesn't matter at all.
Yep.
Why is this dog in this film? Could be anything.
Could have been the fucking ball-mounted dick. Because she was fucking more tore up about losing that than she was than the woman. You know what I mean? She was like, I don't even want it if you ain't going to be here to use it.
No, Suki, that was a gift.
Rip.
Rip.
Yep. But we did leave out one scene in between A and B. The scene where they get back to the hotel, a new hotel since the bad guys know where they're staying. New hotel with a very nice shower. And the prudish one of them finally breaks out of her shell and reveals that she wants to use the senator's penis before they give it back. We get a scene of that. That's all you need.
Once again, I thought it was a moment in the movie where, like, it's the crossing of the streams, right? She's less conservative now, and the crazy ones settle down. I thought that was it. Like, you know, not necessarily like a lovey-dovey moment, but they realize it's like, oh, like, this shit's right under my nose the whole time.
Yeah, like, I didn't see it like that. I just saw it as like, all right, finally broke her out of her shell. Maybe she can loosen up a little bit and maybe finally tell her aunt that she's a lesbian. You know, her conservative aunt who's been living in Tallahassee, Florida all her life, you know. Maybe she can start to live her life a little bit now. That's what I took from it.
Maybe, but Tyler Perry's Medea didn't look too happy about it.
What do they got in Massachusetts that they don't have up here in Tallahassee, North Florida? Well, women can get married there. To each other?
And then a hard cut to a Dunkin' commercial.
Dunkin' Donuts, don't sponsor us because you suck.
Don't listen to the man. Give me money. No, I'm kidding.
Give me money, Duncan. America runs on you.
On you.
Fuck that. We need Tim. We need Tim as a sponsor.
Oh, dude, Tim Hortons would be pretty boss. That means I can get some Burger King coupons, too.
Ooh. What about Old King Clancy? Is that a thing up there?
What the fuck is that pirate bullshit? What the...
Don't worry about it. Swiss Chalet. We'll go Swiss Chalet. Y'all got Swiss Chalet, right? Sponsor us.
The best I can give you is cheesecake.
Ooh.
I have never been to a cheesecake factory in my life. There's one that's always packed. Never been there.
There's one that I've been to
twice.
Yeah. And both at odd times, just like randomly through the week, packed. Everybody's there.
I, too, have been twice, and each time it was completely packed. But I will say this. Oddly enough, the best burger I've ever had was from a cheesecake factory. That thing was fucking immaculate.
Wow. Okay. Cheesecake Factory. Sponsor us.
Yeah, for real.
A gift card or something, right? I'm hungry.
Listen, if they're in league with Long John Silver's, we're not far up the fucking ladder.
Wait, who's in league with Long John Silver's? Because I could take a 3-piece chicken strip basket.
Cake Factory, you can buy their cheesecake at Long John's.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's their dessert.
Ooh.
Like I can get like Cinnabon at Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah. Man, I want some Taco Bell. Anyway, let's wrap this movie up.
Well, the movie does it for us.
Yeah, that's just pretty much it.
Yep.
Yeah, because like the movie's like, hey, I guess we're kind of a thing, but not. You know, we're just way more comfortable with each other. Why not?
We don't really want to label it.
And I got a couple more Dick Damons here in a Bath and Body Works bag. You want to hang out?
Yeah, she went to an art store because she wanted to make her own copies, you know, one for each. So they do have 2 copies of Matt Damon's, Senator Matt Damon's penis, but they leave it behind at the hotel. They don't need that where they're going.
Because where they're going, they won't need dildos.
What the hell is going on here?
All right, so for me, this movie, for a Coen's movie, I have high expectations. I really do, because most of their shit, probably all of their shit, that I can think of off the top of my head anyways, has been banger after banger after banger after banger. And I watched this, and it's not like it's terribly shot, it's not like it's terribly made, it's not like it's terribly acted. It just feels so off. There's just something missing from the whole movie to make it seem a bit more cohesive for me, a bit more able to be invested in. There are bits, but for me, I'd rather watch like Birdcage or Too Long Fu if I'm going to get like a gay adventure movie.
I'm pretty torn on it too. Like, I don't hate it. I mean, I honestly don't know what the issue is. I think it might have been just like maybe the movie's pacing is too fast. You know, we get along really quickly. We don't get enough time with the main characters in a way to where we get a better understanding of where they are, like emotionally or even in their relationship. It comes off as a little bit like one barks and the other one just kind of shrugs sometimes. to me, you don't really get the adventure part of the road trip. You're just kind of in places at any given time. I don't think this one's for me. I think that's just it.
I think all of the qualms that you both have are completely valid. I also think I enjoyed this movie a bit more than either one of you. I'm a dialogue guy. I'm also a Margaret Qualley guy. So 2 big reasons for me to like it. But you're right. There are some sort of hollow spaces that needed to be fleshed out a little bit. And maybe fleshed out with something that isn't just vagina jokes, you know? All told, though, I still enjoyed it.
Well, there you have it. That was Driveway Dolls from the year of our Lord, 2024. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in that comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash that little bell icon. That's the clitoris. So you don't miss what we have going on next.
Get out there and follow us on social medias. We got most of them, if not all of them. And guess what, y'all? You can listen to us anywhere podcasts are available, or even on YouTube. Try us out. We're kind of funny.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time for Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Thanks for stopping by, Matt Damon.